Okay, so I'm going to read through an example, a beginner's guide for getting a dog in the attached Google document. But I wanted to read these tasks to you first. Okay, so as you're reading, you need to consider what makes this different to the other forms of writing that we've looked at, like articles and speeches. How does the writer engage the reader? What type of tone does their writing have? What kind of emotions come across to you? And what's their style like? And then there is a key vocabulary box here in case you struggle with any of that vocabulary. After that, you're going to think about the purpose, the audience, and the format for this text type. Okay, so the form is a beginner's guide, but specifically, what do we expect to see in a beginner's guide? What's the purpose of the writing? What was the writer trying to do when they did this writing? And who was the audience for this writing? So think about that really carefully as I'm reading, okay? And then the last task for today is to analyse this beginner's guide in a bit more detail, um, underlining and labelling Forest techniques. So you have to do 3 if you're copper and bronze. If you're silver or gold, you have to do that and highlight or annotate any vocabulary or phrases that you think are ambitious. And then if you want to challenge yourself, go to section F of your KO and complete the platinum task. So the example beginner's guide is in a separate document. So I'm going to click over to that document now and I'm going to read through it. You can see that on my copy of the document, Mr. Bailey has made an annotation already as an example, okay? So this is a feature that you would find in a beginner's guide. It's direct address, targets the reader, and successfully explains what the text is about. So that's the kind of thing that you need to do in your own annotations. But first of all, just thinking about the path. What's the purpose, the audience, and the form? Dogs 101, your starter guide for getting a dog. So, you've decided to get a dog. What next? If you've never had a dog before, the whole enterprise can be overwhelming. What are the best toys? What kind of food should you feed your dog? What do you need when you're taking care of a puppy? Getting a puppy or a dog will change your life for the better. Don't be intimidated by all of the new stuff to learn. Read on for the basics and you'll be ready to take on this adventure. Number 1, prepare your home. First off, make sure that your home is ready. We recommend setting up a designated dog zone where the dog's crate, bed, and toys can live. Depending on the size of your home and whether or not certain areas will be off limits, you may need to set up some baby gates. If you're bringing home a puppy, you'll need to puppy-proof your home to keep them safe. Keep electrical cords covered or secured. Stow shoes, socks, and other chewable delights in puppy-proof cupboards or closets. Keep rubbish and recycling lidded or behind closed doors where curious pups can't go scavenging. You should also prepare people to welcome their new furry family member. Before your dog comes home, have a family meeting, make sure everyone is on the same page about dog care and consistent training. Number 2, gather supplies, but not too many. With so many dog products available, it can be hard to know where to start. From essentials like a lead and collar to fun stuff like treats and toys, it can feel like there are a million choices for new pet parents. The most important dog supplies to invest in right away are a collar and a leash, poo bags, a dog bed and an appropriately sized crate if you plan to crate train, food and water bowls. High quality dog food, shelter or breeder should give you a starter portion of food so you can gradually transition your pup to your brand of choice. Now, I didn't realise that was part of that list because it's got out of the bullet point bit, which is why my tone of voice changed. And then I just realised it was part of that list, so just edited it. What kind of toys should you get your new dog? It depends on the dog. Some take to tennis balls straight away, while others go crazy for chew toys. Some dogs are extremely treat motivated and will do anything for a biscuit, while others want only the stinkiest, meatiest treat. It's tempting to load up on toys and treats for your new dog, but it's generally a good idea to get to know your dog before spending a lot of money. Have a few different types of toys on hand to start, and as you find out what your dog likes, you can start growing the collection. 3, find a veterinarian. Choosing a vet can be one of the most intimidating parts of new pet parenthood, but it doesn't have to be difficult. We recommend finding a vet before your new dog comes home so that you'll be set from the start. The best way to find a veterinarian is through a combination of research and word of mouth. Ask your friends with pets where they go, and read online reviews to get a feel for pets' expertise in bedside manner. Once your new puppy or dog is home, schedule a getting to know you vet visit to familiarise your dog with place and people. Even if your dog doesn't have an immediate veterinary needs, it's a good idea to establish a relationship with the vet right away so you'll both be comfortable when more urgent vet needs arise. 4. House training. Whether you've adopted an adult dog or brought home a brand new puppy, you'll need to have a house training plan in place. Even adult dogs who are already potty trained sometimes need a refresher course in a new environment. Here's a crash course on house training your puppy or dog. Establish a schedule. A consistent feeding schedule will lead to a consistent elimination schedule. In general, puppies can hold it 1 hour for every month of life. Adult dogs can last longer, but tend to do it best with a potty break every 3 to 5 hours. Choose a cue phrase. A cue phrase. Go potty is the classic, but you have your options. I'd say go wee wee. I think go potty is a bit American. Pick a potty spot and take your dog there every time you go outside initially. This will help connect the cue to the action and the place. Always praise them for getting it right and never punish them for getting it wrong. Above all, when it comes to house training a new canine family member, be patient. You've got this. All that's left to say is best of luck with training and looking after your dog. Hopefully, this guide has offered you the advice, tips, and guidance you need to be able to spend many happy years together with a new addition to your family. So here's great times ahead with your very first pet dog. We hope you've enjoyed reading our guide to owning your first dog. Okay, so really good example there. It's quite long. If I just come back to here, remind you of those tasks. You've got the analysis task, but first of all, the path task. Think really carefully about audience. Don't just say people that like dogs, for example. Think about what all of the information is being aimed towards, what types of people. The format features that are used, there's some really interesting layout features, and then what is the clear purpose behind it. Okay, and then I look forward to seeing you at the beginning of lesson 2.